Let's go look and see what these potatoes look like. Well, those look pretty good to me. What's going on, everybody? Welcome out to another beautiful day on the potato farm. We are starting this one before the sun even comes up. It's about to come up. We got a really beautiful sunrise on the way over here. But I'm on my way out to the field. They're starting digging. It is about 6:30. They are starting on a sandy corner. So I'm on my way out to run the pull tractor. And then I have about 100 other things I got to do today. So hopefully we get that done quick and I can get moving on to other things.
Josh here today, out checking pivots this morning to make sure the water's still on down there at the feedlot. And we got us quite a bit of fog this morning. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning. Looks kind of cool. Looks like it's still running, so we're doing good.
All right, well, we're starting. This is the sandy piece. It's just this corner, but I imagine we'll have some trucks getting stuck. Looks like he just started, and with an empty truck, they're able to go. But I imagine once the truck is full, it's gonna be hard for them to go. So we won't have to pull every truck, hopefully, but we'll have to pull them every once in a while. Luckily, the end of this field is a little bit wet right here because this person's hay kind of waters over, so hopefully no trucks get stuck on the end because of the sand. So we will see what we can do today. All right, we got the first truck stuck in the sand. So I'm gonna pull him to the end. We'll see if he can turn around, and then I'll probably pull him down to the other end where it isn't sandy, and he can just finish loading down there, because he's probably about two-thirds full maybe. So let's get him pulled out to the end and turned around. All right, here we go. I gotta get him out of the way because there's a truck coming. Looks like he's coming. Now, if the trucks can drive like this, where it's already been kind of packed down, it should work pretty good. The problem is he was going in a spot where it was not packed down, so. Oh, straighten up there, buddy. Okay, we'll get him to the end of the field and turn him around. Well, I got him unstuck, pulled him around. Now he's on this packed spot where the truck's been driving. He's gonna try and drive down to the other end, but there's another stuck truck right in front of him, right there. So I gotta go pull that truck out so this guy can get by, because they're not all the way loaded. And it just happens, there's a little like swell right here and a little tiny hill, and they're having a hard time getting up that hill. So we'll see what we can do. I definitely think I'm gonna have my work cut out more for me this morning, because the sand goes that way quite a ways. But we'll get this one hooked up and pulled out of the way as well. So one truck just went by empty, and when they're empty they can drive on it just fine. It's when they're completely loaded full that they are very heavy and just sink in the sand. But we'll get it. I only have to go maybe 100 yards and then we'll be out of the sandy spot. All right, both those trucks are on their way down to the end to finish loading. So I just got done driving in front of the truck to pack it down, and this one didn't get stuck. This one also has road slicks on it. So if this one didn't get stuck, hopefully that works for all of them. Well, he did not quite make it. He's going up that same little hill and started to spin. Hopefully I don't rip his bumper off or something else. All right, he's moving, he's moving. Just gonna pull him out of the sand and then unhook him. This truck does not have a tow hook on it, so we just kind of wrapped it around the frame. It's not around the bumper, it's around the frame that's behind the bumper. So it's still a good, sturdy, strong frame. We'll get him over here where the ground is packed down good, and then he should be able to drive out of the field after that. Well, these yanking ropes has really come in clutch this season.
Yes, they have.
If you guys want to go get yourself one of these yanking ropes, link in the description. They are pretty awesome.
Yes, they are.
There, all wrapped up and good to go. Well, he's going. I'm racing him. See if I can win. I'm winning, I'm winning. Of course, I have a lot better traction than he does. Adios, Trevor. It's nice this end of the field isn't sandy, so they can go. It's just the little corner over there where the pivot doesn't hit is sandy. But what surprises me is how good the potatoes were on the sandy part. They were so good. Over here on this corner was hand lines and didn't get watered as good because, well, I just didn't have the pressure. So the potatoes on this end are struggling a little bit, but on that sandy corner and then out here where the pivot is doing awesome. Look at all those yummy potatoes. Gonna be in the grocery store soon. I'm just backing up through the sand, trying to pack it for this truck. Oh, looks like the truck's full. Otherwise, it's gonna be a really tight fit between the crossover, the truck, and the harvester fitting all in this little section. So, but it looks like that truck's full, so maybe the crossover can get by before the next one pulls in. Okay, well, they're going, and I'm pulling. This truck got stuck. I have to pull him around this section and back out the other side. So we'll get him out, and then I'm guessing, unless this truck can make it to where it's not sandy, I'll probably have to pull that one out too. All right, we are almost done with the sand. So the sand kind of follows the pivot around just this corner right here, and we've dug most of it. We're done with this section. He's gonna go down and move over here. And the next section might have a little bit of sand on this side, but for the most part, I think we're just about done with the sand, which will be nice because I have to go cut hay, of all things to do during potato harvest. We need to go cut our hay. We have 4th crop hay that needs to be cut so we can bale it after harvest. Hopefully it dries out. Luckily, I haven't had to pull out too many trucks since I'm just driving in front of them and packing the ground down. There's a few trucks this morning before everybody figured out how to drive in sand. You cannot turn your wheels all the way while you're turning, or you just snow plow. So luckily, everybody's kind of figured that out. There's a little tiny hill right here, and if they can make it over that hill, they can usually make it out. This truck might get stuck because she's almost full. We'll see. Well, she made it over the hill. Her front tire is sinking a little bit, but she's still going, so hopefully she's good. Okay, I'm almost done out here. I've been out here, well, it's 3 o'clock, so I've been out here a lot of the day, just pulling out trucks. Right here behind me is probably the worst spot. It's kind of like a little hole, and the trucks just keep getting stuck. So we finally, instead of having the trucks go through it, we just unload the harvester here, they back up, and then he kind of goes around over to here, and then they start again. There's a little hill right here. You can kind of see it. If they go over this hill, it's sandy, but on that side, it's not. So yeah, I think we're almost done with the sandy spot. You can actually kind of see right here, there's a line where the sand meets the dirt. So this is dirt, this is sand. So hopefully within the next hour or so, I'm gonna stay out here just in case some truck decides to drive through this and get stuck. But I'm gonna stay out here for maybe another hour, and hopefully we don't have any more trucks that get stuck. The rest of this field should be totally fine. So, and then we just have one other sandy field that's after this one. But this one is going to take us probably at least another day. Probably tomorrow we'll finish this field is my guess. So we will see Christopher's digging without a truck because that's sandy. So he's trying to dig the sandy part, load up with potatoes, and then stop so the truck doesn't get stuck right here. So if he gets up over that hill, so right now he's right on top of the hill. So if the truck backs up right there, he'll be good. Finally got done out in the field. They finally got done with the sandy patch and moved over to the other side. So I don't have to pull trucks anymore. Just came to the cellar to see how the potatoes were looking, and I won't be here for very long because I have to go get the swather ready. We need to change the blades, and it's windy, and the wind will keep the dew away, so I could potentially cut hay for a while. So let's go look and see what these potatoes look like. Well, those look pretty good to me. Let's go back here. Well, those look really nice. They look very, very good size. They don't look like they're skinning at all. So I used to think when we first started, we thought this light skin, it looks like it's skinning. That's not. Apparently that's just a that's actually the skin. That's a characteristic of Norkotas. So some potatoes have like this darker skin. Some of this is dirt, but they have a darker skin on them, which is what you would think of a potato. But then I guess Norkotas, some of them just have really light skin. So I guess that's just a characteristic of this potato. We haven't grown Norkotas in 35 years, so yeah, we didn't know that. We thought we had some big problem. Have a couple little bruises like that crack right there. That means this potato probably fell and hit some weird way. That's one problem you get with the big potatoes, is they can bruise easier because they're heavier. When they fall, they hit harder. So, but they look really good. We have one field that the field that we finished yesterday. There was a lot of rot in that field, and I guess when they took some of the loads, the semis that went in, I guess when they took some of the loads in, they were finding more defects. But that field was also second-year potatoes, which we don't normally do, and it had volunteer rangers in it from last year, so that wasn't our best field. The yield was good. The potatoes looked pretty good other than the rot, but definitely not our best field. It still packed out fairly well, but did have a few more defects. All right, everything looks good here. Now I have to go change the blades on the swather and get cutting some hay. All right, time to work on this thing. I have to put new knives on it because the hay is all laid down, so if we want to have any chance at actually cutting it, it needs new knives. Okay. So these knives are kind of dull, and I need to change them. I need to change all of them, even though some of them they're okay. They need to be really good. So I need to go through. Oh, that one is stuck down for some reason. Oh, that one's stuck too. All right, I'm gonna have to get a hammer and get these two open, but I've got a lot of knives to change. They're pretty easy to change if everything lines up just right. Okay, I'm mid-change. I've changed about half of them. So this is an old used one, really dull. This is a new one, nice and sharp. That's why we got to change them. Now, in order to change them, there's this handy tool. These are all quick change knives, which is kind of quick. If I push down on this handle with my arm, it opens up a little hole where I can slip this in, and then I just release the handle, and it's locked in there, ready to go. I just have all those to do on one side, and then I'll be done. Okay, well, I am out here cutting hay now, and the pivot isn't where it's supposed to be. So normally the pivot is right where I'm sitting. It's pitch black. I cannot see anything past what my lights show. I am just trying to drive straight to the pivot center because I don't know where the pivot is. So I'm going to cut to the pivot center. Ideally, hopefully I'm headed towards the pivot center. I'm hitting the wheel tracks straight on, so I've got to be going fairly straight. I mean, I can't be that far off. And maybe I'll just cut a few rounds over here and then move the pivot over to where I've cut. And we'll go from there. Look at that. I cut straight to the pivot center. That's a big pivot track that I just went over. It's far enough out of the way, I'm just going to do a few rounds right here and then move it over. I decided to get out and double check that there was no dew. We have all this hay. And there's no dew on it. Yeah, there's zero dew. I can run my hand across that. It is not wet at all. Now, like there's some leaves, because we sprayed this with Roundup to kill it. This is not Roundup ready hay. All of our other hay is, but we sprayed this with Roundup to kill it. Some of it is dead, crunchy. Some of it is not. So hopefully it's very laid down. You can see it's not very tall. And then if I grab a strand, it's way taller. So it's all very laid down. So those new knives will definitely help, but I can see that I'm not getting a lot of it, or some of it. We need a better swather. And that's why we demoed some swathers, and we're gonna get one next year, a better swather. But there's no dew, so I'm gonna keep going for a little bit. Probably, it is still a little breezy out here, so as long as it's breezy, the dew will not come on. So I think I might have another hour left. We'll see. All right, we're finally getting into the groove now. I can't open up where I would like to open up because, well, the pivot is sitting there. So I opened up one end and one side of the pivot, and now there's all these little short rows on this one side that I am working on. There still is not any dew, which is good, but I think I'll probably just open up these little short rows and I'll probably quit because the wind is dying down. I can see just by looking at the hay, it's not really blowing around anymore much, which means the dew is going to come on quicker. So the hard part about mowing the hay, cutting the hay at night, is it's just hard to see anything. It's like you can see what's right in front of you, but I can't see behind me like at all. I can see a little bit out the mirror, but you just can't see a whole lot. So we'll finish opening up this, finishing these little short rows, and then I'll probably call it a night. Start doing some more of this tomorrow. All right, I'm just doing one last little dew check. See, yeah, it is starting to get a little bit of dew on it. I don't want this to take forever to dry. We're not gonna cut it with dew on it. So I think we're gonna call it a night. All right, guys, well, if you liked today's video, go down below, hit subscribe, hit like, share it with a friend, and we will be back tomorrow with more potatoes and probably some more hay, because I gotta cut a lot of hay too. I love you guys. I'm Big T. I'll see you in the next one. Just thought I would come into the cellar. We're putting all the eliminators. I hope we can find a home for all these little potatoes, because they're gonna taste just as good as the big ones. They're just little. And there's a ton of them.